Welcome, and in this small video, we are going to talk about something called a convolution and smoothing. Convolution and smoothing. Okay, what it means? See, essentially, the point is this. Let's say that I will start with so basically, given any function, I want to approximate the function smoothly. You understand? So, given a bad function, let's just call it a bad function. Bad function, can we approximate it? Can we approximate it with a smooth function? Is this clear? See, we already know that if you have a smooth functions are nice functions, right? So the question is this: bad functions, they may not work all the time, yeah. So let's say, but you cannot throw it out also, right? So once you are given a bad function, how do you deal with it? So essentially, what we do is we take a smooth function, work out our properties, and then approximate the bad function with the help of smooth functions and see if things work or not. Okay. So some notations what you are going to do is this. So let omega subset of Rn be open and epsilon greater than 0. Yeah, you define u epsilon. This is what we are defining. It is a set of all those x in omega such that the distance between x and the boundary, yeah, this is greater than epsilon. Okay, so essentially think of a ball of radius 1. Okay, radius 1. So essentially, if I am taking an epsilon, choose a epsilon. If I am writing the omega epsilon, it will be the inside ball. Okay, so that's your omega epsilon. Now I will put some definitions down. So definition, we define a eta, it's a smooth eta in C infinity Rn, okay, by eta of x, yeah, this is a constant times exponential. I will explain why this constant I am taking. 1 by mod x square minus 1. Okay, this if mod x less than 1 and 0 if mod x greater than equal 1. Okay, so essentially it's a very smooth function which will die down. So something like this, something like this. The minus 1 plus 1 in one dimension. Let's just draw this thing. It will be a very nice function. So forgive my drawing capabilities. It will be a very smooth round function. Okay, so it will look like something like this. And in R2, you can think of this as a bowl kind of thing, right? Inverted bowl, right? Okay, so and this C, what is so C greater than 0 is chosen such that okay, integral over Rn eta of x dx, that is 1. So we'll choose this C. See, C depends on us. We'll choose our C in such a way that the integral of eta over Rn is 1. So this eta is a very special eta. This eta is a radial function, as you can see. What is a radial function? It's a function of R essentially. So you look at this function on in any ball of radius R, that is going to be a constant. Yeah. Okay. So and we also for each epsilon positive, okay, set eta epsilon of x, okay, to be 1 by epsilon power n eta of x by epsilon. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to use this radial function. See, first of all, what we are starting out is a smooth radial function, C infinity function, which looks like the exponential of 1 by mod x square minus 1. You can understand that as mod x tends towards 1, this is going towards 0. So essentially this goes towards minus infinity. So essentially this goes towards 0. The exponential of this, yeah, it goes towards 0. And this is always smooth. You can just prove it. It's not a problem. And now what we are going to do is for every epsilon, we are writing an eta epsilon, which is just a scaled down version of eta. We are just scaling it by epsilon, eta of x by epsilon. Okay, right. Once we do that, this eta is called the standard modifier. Okay, standard modifier. Clear? This is called a standard modifier. This eta epsilon and eta epsilon is in C infinity. Okay, such that, of course, it is C infinity. See, eta is C infinity, so eta epsilon is C infinity. I mean, there is nothing special going on here, right? Okay, so eta is called a standard epsilon modifier. Eta epsilon is in C infinity, and these are the properties of eta epsilon. Number one, integral over Rn eta epsilon of x dx, this is 1. Okay, and number two, of course, it is 1. Okay, you can just take the integral. This eta from 3 power n, I mean the Jacobian will be eta power n, which will get cancelled, and it will be integral of eta, which is basically 1. So that is why this is 1. And the support of eta epsilon, yeah. So basically, where eta epsilon, the closure of the set where eta epsilon is non-zero, that is contained in B0 epsilon. Of course, because I mean outside B0 epsilon, what is going to happen? Eta will be 0. So basically, eta epsilon will be 0 outside epsilon radius ball. So the support of eta epsilon is contained in B0 epsilon. What it essentially says is eta epsilon is non-zero in this B0 epsilon ball, and outside that it is 0. Okay. Now we are going to define something called a modification. Okay. So essentially what we said, that we want to approximate bad functions with a good function. So let f from omega to r is integrable. Okay. So for now you can just think of this as a continuous function, integrable function. Okay. Now define its modification, okay, as follows. F epsilon, okay, this is a modification of f. So see, you give me a continuous function. What I am going to do is I am going to make it a smooth function. How? I am going to define a f epsilon, which is given by eta epsilon. Okay, this family of smooth functions, convolution with f. Okay, so this is defined in omega epsilon. Yeah, and how do if you want to write it properly, how do you write it? It is given by integral over omega eta epsilon of x minus y f of y dy. Okay, and again you can use a change of variable, and you can show that this is equals to B0 epsilon, okay, eta epsilon of y f of x minus y dy. Okay, please check this part. That's your modification. Yeah. So again, what I am doing, eta epsilon is a family of modifiers which I made, family of radial radial modifiers. Okay, it's a family of modifiers. Eta is a standard modifier, and eta epsilon is a family of modifiers which I constructed out of eta. Okay. Now what I am doing is I am constructing a new function f epsilon, which is eta epsilon convolution f. So I am using convolution and making a new function which is eta epsilon convolution f, which is defined by this, right? So that's the definition of convolution. And by change of variable, you can also write it like this. What we are claiming is this. So this is for every x in omega epsilon, right? Omega epsilon is outside the epsilon neighborhood, right? Okay. So our claim is this. Claim is f epsilon, okay, this is in C infinity omega epsilon. Is this clear? So f epsilon, which you are defining like this, we are saying that it is infinitely differentiable. See, f is not infinitely differentiable. F is just an integrable function. I don't care. I mean, think of this as a continuous function. What it is saying is, once you do this modification, once you convert it to the family of modifiers, then that function will turn out to be a infinitely differentiable function. Okay. Now, how to prove this thing? What I am going to do is I am going to give you a hint, and I think you guys can manage it from there. Okay. The hint is this. So let's say x is in omega epsilon. Clear? Okay. And therefore, hence we can take x plus h ei. Okay. This is in omega epsilon. I can take this. What is the omega epsilon? It is an open set, right? How is omega epsilon defined? If you remember, it is set of x in omega such that distance between x and the boundary is greater than epsilon. Clear? Okay. So it is inside omega and it is an open set. So if it is an open set, there is a small wall which contains which is centered at x and contained in omega epsilon. So I have x plus h ei. I can take h sufficiently small such that this happens. What is ei? Where ei's are unit vector in xi direction. In xi direction, right? So basically ei's are 0 0 1 0 0 0. Clear? This is the ith component, and what is h? H sufficiently small. Why sufficiently small? Because I want my h to be small such that x plus hei is contained in omega epsilon. That's all. Okay, right. So once this is happening, I will show that the derivative of f, first derivative first of all exists. Okay, so let's say f epsilon of x plus ei minus f epsilon of x, okay, by h. Let's calculate this thing and see what happens. This is 1 by epsilon power n integral over omega 1 by h, okay, eta of x plus h ei minus y by epsilon minus eta of x minus y by epsilon. I'm just writing down the definition, nothing else. F of y dy. Clear? Okay. Now this is equals to 1 by epsilon power n. Okay. Integral over v. I'm changing the integral over omega to integral over v. Okay. Please think about it. From h to v I'm changing. 1 by h eta of x plus h ei minus y by epsilon minus eta of x minus y by epsilon f of y dy. Clear? Okay. So once I do this thing, this is for some open set v contained in omega. Clear? So as 1 by h eta of x plus h ei minus y by epsilon minus eta of x minus y by epsilon. This converges to 1 by epsilon eta of xi x minus y by epsilon. This is true. Okay. See, eta, okay, is a C infinity function. So it is of course once continuously differentiable. If that happens, I'm just using the definition of derivative of eta, nothing else. Yes, the same thing. It's just the definition of derivative here. Okay. So please remember, this is 1 by h, this is 1 by epsilon. Yeah. Okay. Now, once that happens, so this is uniformly. Yeah, it converges uniformly on v. Clear? It converges uniformly on v. Okay. So therefore, the partial derivative f epsilon of xi at the point x exists and is equals to and is given by integral over omega eta epsilon xi, okay, of x minus y f of y dy. Okay. Now you do the similar argument. Similarly, you can check that d alpha of f epsilon of x, this can be written as integral over omega d alpha of eta epsilon of x minus y f of y dy. Okay, this is for x in omega epsilon, and this holds for all multi-index mod alpha. Okay, and so the thing is f epsilon is infinitely differentiable. Okay.